Yo, what is up, you guys? It's good to see you. Welcome back. Hold on, let me turn this down here. There we go. Let me switch this one over. I don't have my webcam still on, and I don't know. I need to like, gotta figure that all out. I have not streamed in a little bit. Took a little bit of a break. Had a lot going on, IRL. But yeah, things have been kind of rough for gaming right now. It's like, wait, what is this mod alert? Oh, it's what the heck? For some reason, I got like a pop up for mod alert. Maybe it's because Streamlabs said something with that. I don't know. That was weird. Um, yeah, a lot of that stuff. Well, I guess some of that's up to date. Interesting. The YouTube. I think that's right. YouTube. Yeah, all that stuff is up to date actually. Anyways, Jaster, Angel, good to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. I don't have any plans for gaming. It's gonna be probably a little shorter stream today, like an hour at the most, maybe for half hour. I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and just kind of go over some stuff with gaming and just kind of chill for a little bit. I just missed you guys, and the problem is I haven't had, well, one, I haven't had time. I mean, that's not really an excuse. I guess I have had time. But time has been very limited because I've been out just doing other stuff. Just being super active and just had a lot of plans, a lot of stuff going on. IRL. Water tip. So yeah, it's been kind of tough to like find time for gaming, and mostly because it's lower priority. And another reason is because there's not a lot of stuff that's out right now. Not a lot of stuff that's like catching my interest or like really passionate about. You know what I mean? Dune was for a while. I definitely grinded Dune pretty hard. Put 80 hours into it. In fact, let me load up Steam here. It's updating. It hasn't even logged in. Look at this. Oh, look, it's updating Delta Force. Dune Awakening, I haven't even updated. Last play July 15th. Eesh. Don't tell. You can feel like. Yes, Speeder Game comes out tomorrow. Grounded 2 comes out tomorrow, right? Grounded 2? I know Carnage was playing a lot of Grounded. I was kind of lurking some of those streams, watching them. I just despise. I know they have arachnophobia mode, but a lot of people don't play with that on, and so it's really hard for me to watch those streams because of that. So, yeah, I would actually really like to play Grounded 2 with arachnophobia mode on, of course. It's going to be included on Game Pass for a game preview. I don't know what that means. Let me see if it shows on here. No. Game Pass. It's not on PC Game Pass apparently. Oh no, there. Let's see. Available in 18 hours. So I think I have it pre-installed already on Xbox. I don't have it on PC, of course. But so what is a game preview though? It says it's going to be available in game preview for this. I don't know what that means. If it's like 10 hours of gameplay or something. I don't know. I could just hit that. Maybe it would tell me, but it doesn't really say. Whoa. What a game preview means. I can't believe you banned this. Kill it. Thank you, Jess. I would appreciate that. I mean, you can like turn them into a blob in the first one. I did play the first one, enjoyed it. Actually, I played kind of a lot. But I didn't beat it. I didn't finish it. I didn't like get pretty far into it. But I put a decent amount of game time into the first one. But yeah, they're not including the full game with Grounded 2 on Game Pass for some reason, which I kind of think that's not a bad move because I know Game Pass has been kind of hurting a lot of companies because people like me, I'm a sucker for Game Pass because I play a game for freaking 10 days and then I never touch it ever again. And so Game Pass is pretty nice because I can play these games. I don't have to spend 60 to $80 on them and then I never play it again. No big deal. And I basically get Game Pass for about, what is it, $30 for 3 months, and then I get 1 month free every 4 months. And so I basically pay, let's see, $90 a year for Game Pass. Does that sound right? Because I get every 4 months I get a month free. Yeah, so it's basically $90 a month for Game Pass, or a year, $90 a year, which is way cheaper than PlayStation Plus. And I played Doom, I played a little bit of the new Call of Duty, I played a bunch of different games, not really on PC, even Diablo, for $90 a year, instead of paying $80 for one game that I'll play for a week or two and then never touch again. So for me, it's a great thing. I love having Game Pass, but a lot of companies it hurts a lot actually, and because of people like me. So I don't know. I also don't know what state it'll be in. They did the first one in a million pieces. Like you can play it for free, but a limited time. Yeah, I actually don't know what this game preview means. So I hope it's enough that I can get my entertainment out of it and just like enjoy it long enough. Because I have a bad history of playing a game for a short amount of time and then quitting. Yeah. You should probably try to get through to the end before the second one. It spoils it all. I probably should have. While we were waiting for Grounded 2 to come out, I probably should have. I thought about it, but I didn't think very much about it. Now looking back, I probably should have done it, but I don't think I will. I don't think I'll go back to Grounded 1 just to get through. I'm not too worried about spoilers, so yeah. So Grounded 2 comes out tomorrow. I'll probably be playing that. I don't know. Is there going to be crossplay and everything? Do you guys know if crossplay will be in there? I'd be 100% down to join you guys if there is, because I probably won't play it on PC. I could, but I probably am more likely to play on Xbox because my Xbox is kind of just set up, ready to go with it already. So. But I could do it on PC if there's no crossplay. But I won't be streaming it. That's probably almost 99%. Unless I like really, if it just like sucks me in and I'm like super addicted to it, then yeah, I would stream it. But I probably will play off stream, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to let that be on the screen here. I have been playing this. Recycle her. It's not the cycle obviously, but it's the recycle her. I don't know if that's actually supposed to be on the screen or not. I don't think it matters. Whatever, it's already on there. I've been playing that. I don't even know if I probably shouldn't even say anything about it, but I think it's still under NDA. Yeah, I really like gaming is just rough right now. So actually I was gonna go over this and watch This Week in Gaming. I don't know if you guys watch Level Cap or not, but he does like a little preview or post synopsis of what's going on in the gaming world, and kind of keeps me up to date of things. He's pretty good about it. He tries to remain pretty neutral. He definitely came from the Battlefield era, and so is primarily focused on Battlefield, but he does look after other games too, and I don't know, it kind of keeps me up to date. But I was gonna watch this and see where he's at with it. So let's see here. Let's pause this music. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Let me know if it's too loud.
Pap here, and welcome to This Week in Gaming,
I'll turn it
your
down.
weekly
Is that good?
recap on everything going on in the world of video games. And I've got an exciting recap for you today because we got our first official look at Battlefield 6.
I want to actually watch this trailer. Battlefield 6 just came out, the trailer. I will be playing this, only if it comes to Game Pass or there's a beta and I can actually play it. Only if there's a beta, I can actually play it before launch, or it comes out on Game Pass. Then I will play it. I will not be pre-ordering this game. I will not be buying it for full price, unless the beta is actually really good. I am a big Battlefield fan. I actually started the old school Battlefield, like I think it was 1942 or something like that. One of the old generation Battlefield games, like the first generation. It might be second. I don't remember. There probably was a game before that, but I think 42 was like the first one that I ever played, and then I skipped bat. Somebody's calling me from work. What the hell? I'm not answering it. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, so I skipped Battlefield Bad Company 1. I did play Bad Company 2, and I actually really liked Bad Company 2. My favorite Battlefield of all time, though, is Battlefield 3. BF3 is my favorite, and BF4 was great. BF5 was okay, mid. BF1 was bleh. Okay, it had its moments. 2042 was a big fail, flop, whatever. And apparently this new Battlefield is looking a lot like Battlefield 3. And they just had a 30-minute leak of the Battlefield Labs gameplay, and I watched that. And there's also still a 7-minute video out there still. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it on stream, obviously, but there is a full gameplay with a decent player actually playing Battlefield 6 in the lab testing. And not going to lie, it looks pretty freaking solid. But yeah.
Splitgate 2 blew up in a bad way. Microsoft backed down from increasing their game pricing and much
That's
more.
good. The Microsoft
EA
price
officially
drop.
revealed Battlefield 6 with a cinematic trailer featuring extensive in-game footage from the game's campaign. The game includes maps set in New York City, Cairo, Gibraltar, with potential hints of a battle royale map set in California. One of the biggest highlights of the trailer was the incredible destruction and overall grittier tone. As an old-school fan of the franchise, I really enjoyed the trailer, and that seems to be the overall community sentiment.
It's a
It is
trailer,
general
though.
enjoyment,
It's
but
cinematic.
not overhyped, and it's possible that DICE's past with the Battlefield franchise is starting
All right,
to catch
Angel,
up
sounds
to
good,
their
man.
present. Comparing the hype of, say, the Battlefield 1 trailer, which was EA's most successful marketing campaign for any Battlefield game, this one pales in comparison. Battlefield 1 was dropping at a point where DICE's previous Battlefield game was Battlefield 4, a fan favorite, so many players were really excited about the next game. It was doing World War I, which was a very risky experiment, but the trailer absolutely slapped, had a great theme song, and everybody seemed to gravitate towards this new take on it. The Battlefield 6 trailer feels more like an homage to the Battlefield 3 era of gaming, which was one of my favorite eras, but it's not quite as exciting or, say, head-turning compared to what Battlefield 1 offered. Hopefully the popularity
That is true.
of the
That's a
trailer
good way to
will
look
be a
at
direct
that, or
translation
think of it.
into sales, considering EA's extremely lofty goals for their sales mark, at least the mark that was leaked. Now, the trailer itself was pretty light on specific details like launch dates and gameplay info. However, based on what's been released so far, we can infer that the game won't be coming to the last-gen consoles like
Good.
PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. It's currently only available for wishlisting on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. EA's official legal disclaimer also aligns with leaks suggesting that the game will launch on October 10th. Leaks further indicate that a potential open beta could start on August 4th. Recently, gameplay footage from playtesting has been surfacing online, showing a much more polished version of the game than previously seen. And I'll be heading to LA to play Battlefield 6 on July 31st, which is also the official multiplayer reveal date. So stay tuned to my channel for a more in-depth look at multiplayer and potentially more information about the game's other modes. The Splitgate 2 saga has taken another turn. 1047 Games CEO announced the game is going back into beta to address a litany of issues, such as its focus on heroes and abilities, the lack of portals, overpriced cosmetics, bloated game modes, and more. In a double blow, the announcement also revealed that the original Splitgate,
That's
now averaging
insane.
fewer than 500 concurrent players a day on Steam, is being shut down because the
That's
operating cost
crazy.
of the servers is costing the studio between $40,000 and $50,000 a month. The community's reaction seems to be a mixture of frustration, a complete lack of surprise, some people praising them for putting it back in beta.
This is something I don't understand. is how like he just said 40, $50,000 a month, like with that low of a population. And there's some games that are currently in the works that are like possibly coming back. How are those guys gonna afford? I mean, obviously these are pretty decent numbers. They're not great, obviously, not good enough because they're shutting it back down. But that's insane. And so I'm kind of curious about some of these future games and how, because I don't know anything about server hosting and like how much it costs and everything. But maybe these guys just had like some super high end server hosting, and that's why it was so expensive and they can't afford it. Maybe there's other cheaper ways that are still, I don't know. I don't understand that whole realm. So I doubt I can just be a healer in this game. It doesn't like to get combat medic role. So they do have the combat medic role in Battlefield, and they're trying to like figure out whether they're going to keep roles like locked, like Battlefield used to be. Recently, they've opened them up, so like a medic can basically be like a sniper,
Hello there.
or a medic can be like a assault person or anything like that, which has kind of turned off a lot of people. Like that's why another reason why 2042 kind of failed. But yeah, yo Rex, what's up, man? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're just chilling here talking about video games, just hanging out. Um, but yeah, I know you want to actually like be a. I mean, they do have like the the thing where you actually actively go out and heal people. They had that in Battlefield 2042, where you like even Delta Force has that too, but just like a medic tool that goes out and like actually heals people while they're in combat and stuff. So yeah, but I know that's not really your cup of tea. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
And doing the right thing, but overall I'm getting a pretty strong sense of doubt from the community. Leading up to the game's release, Splitgate 2's marketing was a bit confusing, trying to prop itself up as the shooter to save gamers from mediocrity, where in fact many of the features in Splitgate 2 were incredibly
My
derivative.
tool.
The player
No, I
base
didn't.
plummeted shortly after launch, with over 9.
Yeah, look at this. So it peaked at 25,000, and now they're like down to 1,000 to 2,000, which is less than what some other games populations that could come back could be. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to be monetized. But this is Splitgate. I don't know if you heard about Splitgate 2, how they're basically unlaunching the game. They're taking the servers down. It was such a big fail. It launched pretty decently, but dropped tremendously. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is last week's numbers, but that's pretty rough. So
Percent of players leaving within 2 weeks. And while comebacks of similar games losing a lot of their player base at launch but gaining them back later, Gray Zone Warfare certainly comes to mind, it's still a sad turn of events for fans of the original game who hoped for a sequel that would double down on the best features.
I
of
never
the
had any
original.
interest in
Developers
playing this
working on
game.
future content have been laid off while the studio refocuses on fixing the core game. Elden Ring Night Rain just passed a major.
I'm not a big fan of like the shooter jumper type thing, the floaty. I mean, I guess Halo is, but it's not. It's not like this kind. I don't know.
Been laid off while
Like,
the
look at
studio
this right here.
refocuses on fixing the core game.
Like that, or how he's like jumping super high. I don't know, and it's just
Elden
not
Ring Night Rain just passed a
nothing I really cared about. So Night Rain, I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't played this yet. I want to play this, but they just added duos. I heard about this on Twitter that they just added duos, and that would be pretty badass to play this with one of you guys. I still have yet to play it. Let me show you my Steam. I do not have. I haven't played Elden Ring since last year. Where is DLC? How much? The DLC is $50. This is why I don't have it. Wait, isn't there like a cheaper version of just Night Rain? $30? No, that's not it. Is it its own separate thing? This isn't even Night Rain. Do I have to like search? Night. Oh. It's $40. It's its own separate thing here. Born in 1970. Deluxe upgrade. So wait, if you are, I don't understand. So wait, can I get this for 15? What do you have to have? Oh no. Oh no no. This is like the deluxe. So you buy the game here, and if you want like the extra content, it's $15 more. Never mind. Yeah, $40, man. It probably is worth it, but yeah, I can't right now. I would love to play this though. I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially like people that are still playing this that are from our community. Like, I wonder if Spoopy's still playing this, or I don't know. I think it'd be pretty fun. It's cool that they added duos and they're still like actively updating the game, making it better. So
A major milestone, selling over 5 million units since launch. This was announced alongside details for the game's next patch, which will add two-player co-op, a much requested feature that players were hoping for prior to launch. It's great to see these features
That's
getting
cool.
added so quickly. Microsoft is backing down from its $80 pricing for the Outer Worlds 2.
I wonder what this is gonna do. What kind of ripple effect this is gonna change. I know Nintendo just hiked it up, and they got. I still am kind of mind blown by that. Like Mario Kart, $80 for a game. I mean, yes, they did some improvements and some additions. Yes, there's inflation. Yes, I don't know. It's just I'm glad that they dropped this back for Outer Worlds 2, but I think it's a matter of when, not if it happens. It's coming, and maybe not this year, but I think next year or the year. It's very soon where this will be the standard.
The game's developer announced on social media that they negotiated with their publishers and Xbox to drop the price to $70. As the global economy enters a period of uncertainty, game publishers like Rockstar, Gearbox, and Microsoft have pushed prices for first-party titles well beyond the usual $60, citing inflation and the increasing cost of game development. It's been speculated that GTA 6 may capitalize on its massive hype to set a new precedent for $100 game launches. One thing's for sure, though, I think studios are going to set the price point at wherever they think they can make the most money. So you set it too high and the economy's not doing well and people can't buy your game. So generally speaking, the overall state of the economy is probably going to dictate game prices. Despite a few controversial statements from the studio CEO, a rough beta launch that raised extensive concerns from players. And
oh yeah, you posted this video. Killing Floor 3.
The official launch, Killing Floor 3.
You would not pay $100 for GTA 6. I would pay $80 for GTA 6. I feel like that is a large enough game based off of GTA 5 and how much success it had at launch. I know it had some issues and everything, but overall that game is massive, even like to standards today for a video game. And some of like the graphical updates that they've done and some, yeah, I think that game is definitely worth $80. GTA 6 will be. I have a feeling that they're gonna do that $80. I don't think it'll be a $70 or $60 game. I think that'll be across the board 80, in my opinion. I mean, I'd be surprised if it's 60. Very surprised, honestly. I obviously wouldn't complain, but I think that, you know, the standard $80 and then $100 for deluxe, and then there's gonna have like an ultimate edition of $150 for some insane, crazy stuff that people will just drop whatever they can to get that. So, but yeah, isn't GTA on console? Yeah, they have. It's gonna be on console first for at least 6 months. I don't remember. There was a video about it actually. I remember seeing something like that, but it's gonna be on console first for a while before it comes to PC, which I'm okay with because I played all my GTA games on console anyways. So. I know. I know most people are like one or the other. PC definitely makes sense because they can run bigger, better, faster, so many more things. But I like having the variety, you know, and just as long as there's crossplay, whatever, and makes it all right. Obviously, like MMOs and stuff, I definitely prefer on PC, of course. Surprisingly, New World is not that bad on PS5. But it's still better on PC. They did a decent job with New World on PS5. Anyways, back to this. Killing Floor 3.
Is apparently a hit. It launched with over 27,000 concurrent.
Wait, I missed the beginning.
Despite a few controversial statements from the studio CEO, a rough beta launch that raised extensive concerns from players, and virtually no marketing for the official launch,
True.
Killing Floor 3 is apparently a hit. It launched with over
That's good.
27,000 concurrent players on Steam, beating the previous entry Killing Floor 2 by more than 7,000 players. The developers have laid out an extensive roadmap for the third game, including fixes based on beta feedback, new maps, weapons, challenges, and more. Itch.io is the latest game platform to fold under pressure from payment processors regarding adult and sexual content. They announced this week that they have to de-index games labeled as not safe for work across the entire site while they audit their catalog to ensure compliance with payment processors including Visa and PayPal. These new compliance demands recently hit Steam as well, forcing Valve to remove hundreds of games. The source of this newfound concern over adult games seems to be a push from anti-porn organizations like Collective Shout, which have routinely targeted games like Grand Theft Auto for their sexual themes and content. And while some of their concerns about extreme content could be valid, their position is largely viewed as opportunistic censorship that could eventually affect less extreme content. Payment processors in general have become more stringent about which sites can use their services, especially as platforms like OnlyFans has risen in popularity. And while there are payment services that cater to not safe for work platforms and content, their fees are generally much higher than industry norms. Action Soccer Game Rematch got its first major patch this week, addressing several technical issues such as hit detection, netcode control.
I don't know what this game is, but it looks like freaking soccer Rocket League. Arcadey looking, kind of interesting. I think the bigger problem is, why are people playing video games at work instead of working? Dude, what do you mean? I'm literally that definition for most of my career and other previous jobs. When I did accounting and stuff, I would basically get all of my work done. I worked like a 6-hour day, and I would get it done within 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4. But most of my office would leave when they were done. Not me. I would stay, and I downloaded World of Warcraft, and I played World of Warcraft at work while everyone else left. And it was so bad. But I mean, I didn't have good internet at home back then, and I'd either have to go to my friend's house or play it at work. So that's why I couldn't play at home. Yeah, we had dial-up for the longest time, and then, I mean, we didn't even have dial-up for the longest time. I don't think we got internet until 2009 or 10, 2008, maybe. No, it had to have been, I don't know, maybe 2007 or 8. It was when I got, yeah. Then we had dial-up for a little while. Quite a long time, and we didn't really get high-speed internet. Oh man, I freaking hated that. Even the high-speed internet was just absolutely terrible. My dad would always pay for like the cheapest internet possible, and it was. I never really had good quality internet until I moved out of my house, and that was like one of the very first things. My parents' house. That was one of the very first things I got when I was in my very first apartment, was to make sure I had Comcast for my very first internet service, and I went with the most expensive, and I worked my tail off to freaking pay for that stuff. 2-bedroom apartment, all by myself, paying for the highest tier package of internet that I could pay for. That wasn't like T1 or something. Yeah. That was my history of internet.
Remapping, crashes, animations, and more. The game was praised at launch for its fresh gameplay that feels rewarding and deep despite bugs that affected match outcomes. Following its sudden cancellation by Riot Games, Hytale might not be gone for good. This game was an upcoming survival crafting experience similar to Minecraft, but with a stronger emphasis on RPG and narrative content. The studio behind the game,
like
Hypixel,
casual
was
Minecraft,
shopping the project around to other publishers to keep development going, but was unable to secure a deal before Riot pulled the plug. However, the studio's co-founder is looking to buy the rights to the game from Riot and continue looking for a publisher. Recent tweets from him cryptically suggested that he might be making progress, though given the game's lengthy development time and massive cost, it's unclear if it'll ever be finished. In our final story this week, Double Fine Games honored the legacy of the late Ozzy Osbourne by making their action-adventure music RPG Brutal Legends free to play for 666 minutes. This followed Ozzy Osbourne's death, which occurred on July 22nd. Ozzy is featured throughout the game as two NPCs
It
alongside
should have
other
done 666
music icons.
hours
Ozzy
or
performed
something.
his final
Minutes
show
is kinda
just
lame,
weeks
but-
before his passing in a massive stadium event that raised nearly $200 million for multiple charities, including research for Parkinson's disease, the condition that ultimately claimed his life. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming.
That's
If you
actually
guys are
pretty cool.
enjoying this news coverage,
Didn't
don't
know
forget
that.
to drop me a like, subscribe for more content like it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Battlefield 6 reveal, and if you're
Okay,
excited to see
let's
more
watch that.
multiplayer.
So what's up next? I'm gonna turn this one up a little bit because it's pretty bad. Ass.
My fellow citizens, my fellow, we will prevail.
Oh, I think I have it sped up.
My fellow
There we go.
citizens, today represents a dark day in our history. With this monstrous, unprovoked attack, no country is safe from their reach.
Jeez.
For all those serving on our behalf, our prayers go with you.
Sorry. Yes, Rex, I did. I've never been a big fan of the Killing Floor games. I saw the first couple, and I'm not really into that. And so I did see the new update for Killing Floor 3, and actually how it is pretty successful. That's awesome, though. I'm glad to hear. I like hearing stuff like it's a little bit rough in the beta, but it actually launched in a much better state. And I mean, that's just goes to show some betas actually do what they're supposed to do. This game is supposedly Battlefield 6 is supposed to have a beta like first week of August, which is very soon. They have their announcement launch multiplayer thing coming on the 31st in a couple days. And then right after that, the beta is supposed to go live, or a week after that, within the week or something. That's the rumors. So
For the Pax Armada mercenaries who are watching now, I have a message.
I actually like this time frame era that they are doing this Battlefield game on. I think it's great. Voice.
It's over.
Sucker, Jester, you sucker. That's cool. That's like Top Gun. I like the song. Damn, dude, that freaking scene looked, or that like scenery looked really sweet. Where? No. Right here. Come on. Right there. That's pretty cool looking. You know, birds all over there. Water down here. Some roads. That's pretty cool looking. But this is my favorite era. Like this brings me back to like Battlefield 3. I think it was like I don't know if it was a DLC map with the big giant pipeline map, whatever. This is what this looks like. Reminds me of. I love the Desert War combat.
Decisive. Dagger on my six.
I don't care for night vision. Ooh, the giant dam, of course. Typical Battlefield. Yeah, that's New York, right? It's pretty cool. For a cinematic trailer, it looks pretty good, but I have zero hype from this trailer though, and it's not gonna add. Like, I think it's cool. It's a cinematic trailer. I mean, you can't really expect anything. There's no actual like full footage gameplay. Just take it for what it is, and I mean, let's look at the comments. Don't pre-order is probably the highest. Oh, this is Battlefield's comment. That's different. Remember, no pre-orders. Yep. There's probably a few of these no pre-order stuff up here. Please be like that. Wait, 50,000 likes for that? Holy cow! What is this? 223,000 likes for that? Jeez, that's insane. No pre-orders. Yeah, a lot of it. It's good. I hope it. I mean, it's actually look at the 473,000 likes to 14K. That's pretty good. I wonder what the previous ones are.
The Battlefield.
Remember when Korea was hey look. That's all I think about anytime people mention that movie. Yeah. I actually really liked both Top Gun movies. I liked obviously the original, incredible, amazing, can't beat it. The new one, they did a great job. I feel like it wasn't too much. We weren't trying to like, I don't know. I feel like they had a pretty good balance of it, and I really liked it. Give me a link to their thing. You had a dislike to it. That's funny.
6 trailer just dropped, officially revealing
Let's
the
speed
next
this back
game
up.
in this
He talks
storied
really slow.
franchise.
Typically,
And
I have it
gotta
at
say,
1.3
it's
or 4.
actually really good. As
but-
someone who grew up on the classic Battlefield games, this feels like it was made for me. If you missed playing Battlefield 3 back in the day, this game
Hey.
feels like a continuation
Yes.
or even an evolution of that vibe.
That's what I like to hear.
Recreating many of the iconic Battlefield 3 shots, like the Abrams tanks
Yes.
pushing through an open desert, Middle Eastern city conflicts, amphibious vehicles launching out of an aircraft carrier. There's no question that Battlefield 3 served as the visual style guide for this game, albeit
That's
with
good.
a little less of that blue tint. Backing up the visuals is an epic Bob Dylan Masters of War remix with a classic Battlefield beat mixed in, and honestly, it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
Yeah, he's way more dedicated into
Marketing
this than
absolutely
I am.
nailed it in every regard. It's a little fan servicey, but in a more subtle way, not loaded with blatant callouts to gimmicky Battlefield tactics or base drop reveals of some mega weather event. Instead, it focuses on establishing the feel of a conflict that feels real and intense. The trailer feels like it was made for veteran fans of this franchise and not some brainless gamer who can be easily swayed by some big dumb feature. Instead, it establishes a feeling, a familiar feeling, an old school feeling, and it makes me want to feel that more. It brings a classic military focus, big set-piece maps with epic destruction events, and a fictional conflict that feels like it could be just real enough. In fact, this trailer puts a pretty good emphasis on the narrative, establishing the conflict with what appears to be a major strike on New York City. We see an Apache helicopter smash through a high-rise apartment building in New York, clearly setting this as an attack on U.S. soil and not just hitting military targets. The president leads off a press conference announcing an unprovoked attack on the U.S. and a threat to the Pax Armada mercenaries who seem to be behind the attack. And skipping to the end, we have the usual wish list, call to action, and an announcement that the multiplayer reveal will happen on July 31st. And at this point, I can tell you that I've been invited to an event in LA to play the game for the first time. I can't tell you much more than that right now, but I'll just say stay tuned to my channel because you won't want to miss what's coming. So let's get into the trailer breakdown. With a narrative focus of the trailer,
hold
it
on.
could be a little
I have some mixed feelings about that. I like that they do that. They invite bigger content creators and everything, but I feel like people just take too much of it as they don't realize like they're obviously going to be biased because they may not be getting extra paid whatever, but they're still getting exclusive perks and bonuses from it. So they might be getting paid whatever, I don't know, but I know that regardless they're still going to be more biased towards giving it more positive feedback whatever to the public because they want to be re-invited back, or they have to or something, I don't know. And so a lot of people just take that and they get overhyped, and like Call of Duty is a prime example of that, man. They freaking always invite these big ass streamers and big ass YouTube content creators, whatever, and they all say these great things about it. It's we're back, back to the roots, boots on the ground. It's it's Call of Duty's back, whatever, and then it's the same shit over and over and over again. The game's shit, servers suck, matchmaking sucks, cosmetics are for 12-year-olds, and I don't know. So if people just got to see past that. It's cool that they get to play and they get to put some content out, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is just kind of seeing the actual gameplay and content that's public. Once they release that, that's great for me. Then I can make my own decisions, and then especially once I get to play the beta or play it on Game Pass, then I can actually decide for myself. But a lot of people just see other people's stuff and they go off their own opinions and go off other people's opinions and don't form their own, and that's rough. So I kind of have mixed feelings about it, but hopefully it's good.
tough to know what's going to be reserved for the campaign versus what's in the multiplayer. But like most of the previous Battlefield games, a lot of the campaign is set in either the same or very similar environments to the
Terrible
multiplayer
Trump
experience,
voice.
so I think it's safe to say that we're going to be able to play multiplayer in most of the areas shown off. The opening gameplay shot shows police armed with military gear mixed in with soldiers. The scene is set in New York City, which is obviously a big focus for the trailer since the bad guys in BF6 storyline attack the Brooklyn Bridge at some point, blowing a huge section out of its middle. Throughout the trailer, we see some scenes implying larger naval operations, establishing a presence in a region. F-22s and F-16s are seen in the trailer. There's a blatant and much appreciated Top Gun shot ripoff, hopefully indicating that there will be some fun depth for pilots in this game. We also get to see some jets taking off from an aircraft carrier. There's a very classic scene showing Amtrak's launching from a carrier and moving towards a beach landing from that vessel. It gives me that Gulf of Oman vibe that was so well established back in BF2 and repeated in many titles after that. The scenes with the Black Hawk helicopter circling some under construction buildings with a minigun firing down upon them looks like it could be a shot directly out of a Gulf of Oman map. But this time there's clearly an emphasis on the increased engine destruction, far beyond what we've seen in any previous game. Another heavy theme throughout the trailer is night operations and MVGs. There's a ton of soldiers in the trailer wearing helmets equipped with flip-down MVGs. There's even a shot of a squad of soldiers at night with IR lasers and PID markers on their helmets.
I don't care at all for that.
Considering that we get multiple views of the New York City map across different times of day, there may even be a possibility that the multiplayer maps could feature changing time of day effects similar to what we saw in Dawnbreaker from Battlefield 4, or possibly even more dynamic beyond that. There's also a shot of soldiers running through trenches that reminded me a lot of scenes from Battlefield 5's map Twisted Steel. And given a little bit of highlights from a narrative storyline that was shown off a few days ago for this game, it indicated that France was leaving NATO, presumably to join the Pax Armada group, so this shot could actually be a remake of that Twisted Steel map taking place in France. Obviously, I'm just speculating at this point, but it would open up the game to have a lot of really fun combat environments all over the world. There's also a shot of an underground subway tunnel featuring a subway train being pursued by soldiers in armored jeeps. The paint job on the subway car looks like it's based on the MTA's money cars, which were in service in New York City until 2006. These trains were used to transport money from fares and services throughout the subway system, so maybe this scene involves some sort of bank heist. Now, aside from the emphasis on New York City, another interesting landmark featured in the trailer is this brief shot of the pyramids behind an Egyptian city.
Oh, I didn't
which
even
is likely
recognize that.
Cairo. Gibraltar was also heavily featured in the reveal
Pyramids.
trailer and was part of the game's early reveal concept art. Now, aside from these bigger details, the reveal trailer also confirmed some leaked info. The dam scene was previously leaked in an unfinished state by data miners. Destructible dams have been an ongoing theme of many Battlefield games, and it's very cool to see it returning here. There's also a shot of 5 soldiers airdropping onto the...
That's crazy. Look how bad that looks. But back in the day when Battlefield 4 came out, God, we thought it looked so amazing. The graphics, we used to think that looked so amazing. But look how bad it looks.
By data miners. Destructible dams
Look at that.
have been an ongoing theme of many
Oh my
Battlefield games, and
God. Bleh. Look at down here. Oh, the texturing. But this is what we used to think looked incredible. That's insane.
very cool to see it returning here. There's also a shot of 5 soldiers airdropping onto the Gibraltar map, which could be a confirmation of the game's Battle Royale mode, or it could just be a campaign experience. Leaks have suggested that the Battle Royale mode will be free to play and set.
It's funny because you look at like
US
these
map, but
graphics.
this trailer shot could
I can't like stop it on a good
indicate that there will
thing,
be
but
multiple Battle Royale maps. Again, this is just speculation at this point. Now, leading up to this trailer, there's been a ton of leaks regarding release dates and betas for Battlefield 6. This trailer confirms that the leaks for the multiplayer reveal will happen on July.
okay, we'll just stop it right here. You look at like the graphics. This is a pretty poor example, but you say, I look at these graphics, and you think these graphics can't get any better than this, and then 10 years down the road, we'll look at the back and be like, this sucks. I mean, this isn't that great of a picture, obviously, but there's been some other stuff that looked amazing. And you'll be like, there's no way it can get better than this, and then we'll look back and be like, I can't believe kids played Battlefield like this. Look how terrible the graphics look. One of the things that kept me away from video games with the improvement in the past years is what's got me into it now. Yeah, it's night and day difference.
July 31st. Pre-orders also seem like they will go live on that date, but wishlisting on PC and console platforms is currently available. The game's leaked release date is October 10th, with an open beta potentially happening on August 4th. It's also speculated that
that was it, August 4th. So yeah, next week.
Currently available. The game's leaked release date is October 10th, with an open beta potentially happening on August 4th.
Oh, potentially.
It's also
yeah.
speculated that the base game will be roughly $80 US. Now, overall, I think the Battlefield 6 reveal trailer did a good job. It is sort of a weird environment because while that trailer dropped, we also have Battlefield Labs going on, which has been leaking gameplay for months and months and months now, showing off what more or less is the multiplayer experience. And this leaked gameplay from Battlefield Labs has gone from a lot of gray box environments and things being clearly unfinished to a lot more polished looking gameplay. And while this trailer doesn't really show off the multiplayer, which will of course be shown off on the 31st, we still have a pretty big glimpse into what the multiplayer experience looks like, and so far it looks pretty good. And some of the controversial stuff like the weapons being class locked and stuff like that, DICE has responded to effectively and seems to be siding with the player base in a lot of these cases. So given the vibes of
This is a huge controversy, and I feel like the answer, they're doing this to do a check mark of we listened, and I don't think, this is my honest opinion. So here's what's going on. Open weapons versus closed weapon system. Basically, it's the classic. This is the classic. Open is like the new thing that Battlefield's done, which in my opinion has been failing. But this is a classic where they have locked classes. A sniper can only use the snipers. You know, medic. You know, so things are pretty locked down. And so what they're trying to do is they're gonna have both for the beta. Starting at the open beta, players can choose official playlists with signature weapons locked to class or not. So I feel like they're posting this just to say, hey, we tried it. And I feel like they're really going to push this, not so much push this. And they're going to come back and say, either not show us the data, if it really is this, or they're going to just say, hey, look how much more people want this, so we're going to stick to this, because it's like a skewed, forced pushing, because the general people will just be like quick play, and then it'll automatically set them into this one. And the statistics and stuff will not show. I don't know. I feel like they should look over the last 5 years, 10 years of Battlefield and see, like, I don't know. It's tough. I feel like this new system is not what Battlefield should be running. And I know I do understand why they want this, but I don't know. I think it's all skewed, and I think they're just doing this just to show the public of, we gave it a chance, but because at launch they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna have both of these at launch. I mean, that would be cool if they did. If they're able to maintain that and keep that, sustain it, whatever. That'd be awesome if they just keep both. And I mean, I'd prefer just this, but if they can do both and make, the thing is, you can't please everyone, and you never will be able to. And I feel like splitting community more and more and more down all these different pathways of gameplay modes and everything else, it's not a good thing. So I don't know.
the trailer, the setting, the reliance on tried and true military technology. There isn't a lot of crazy high-tech stuff going on here. And DICE's willingness that seems to be interested in catering to the core fan base of Battlefield, at least from the Battlefield Labs feedback and their response to it, really seems like they're trying to appease the community here and nail what Battlefield is about. Now, all that said, I have not played Battlefield 6 in any capacity yet. I've seen the leaks like you guys have, and I've seen the reveal trailer, and I am just speculating based on that info. But as far as the vibe that is being established right now, I like it. It's getting me excited for the game. Obviously, with an expensive game like this and DICE's troubled past, I'm not going to tell anyone out there to pre-order the game or anything like that. Wait for the streams and the reviews if that makes more sense to you, but
I disagree. I freaking hate that right there. I mean, I like that he said don't pre-order, but what did he say right after that?
game like this and DICE's troubled past, I'm not going to tell anyone out there to pre-order the game or anything
Okay, listen to this part right here.
like that. Wait for the streams and the reviews if that makes more sense to you.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. The streams and the reviews. You're going to get game reviewers that are freaking, I don't want to say an age, that are just in, they're, how game reviewers are, and journalists and stuff like that. You're going to have journalists playing it. People, Yeah, and then streamers and the bias already. Like, hey, we got all this extra early access. We got all these different benefits. Of course, we're gonna say more good about it than bad. And I disagree with that. I think that you should wait to play the actual game itself, or form your own opinions. Don't go off of others. Nah, I mean, even me, like, don't go off what I say. Go off what you form through your own research and gameplay or whatever you do.
But if you want to know more about this game, again, stay tuned to this channel. There's going to be a lot more.
Sorry, I'm
coverage
getting off my
next
soapbox.
week. And if you enjoyed this trailer breakdown, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like it.
Oh, Avatar is in this playlist? It just came out with a new Avatar. I probably can't even watch this on stream, huh? It's going to get, like, copyright. Delta Force. Delta Force got a new update for their console. I actually saw him tweet about this, or maybe it wasn't him. One of the big Delta Force content guys just tweeted about this, and this is actually really cool. I know Alaskan is pretty big into this. A few others. I think Metal still plays. I don't know if... Yeah, there's still a few others that Murthy and those guys that might play. But I'm pretty stoked for this.
3 weeks away from the console release of Delta Force on
3
August
weeks
19th.
away.
And last weekend there was a closed tech test that I was fortunate enough to be able to join and provide some feedback on, and I made a video talking about that and sharing my feedback. And today the devs posted a blog answering a bunch of questions that people have had regarding the console version of the game and some of the improvements and changes we can expect.
I'm actually
to see
stoked for
from
this
the
on
tech
console,
test.
which is weird.
And thankfully, I think every single point that I brought up in my video was addressed in this. So
I know I should be better on PC, but I play shooters way better on console than I do than PC. And mouse and keyboard has just been something I've never been able to control and like be as good at. The only game that I've ever done decently, I feel like, as a shooter would be the Cycle Frontier. And I think that's really it. I don't think there's anything else that I've actually played. I mean, I guess I was okay at Halo, but I also use a controller for that. I tried playing on mouse and keyboard for a while, but I went back to controller. Same with what other shooters? Battlefield, I think I played a little bit on PC, but went to keyboard or controller. But Cycle didn't have like control. I mean, it did, but it was like terrible input. So I was kind of forced to play the Cycle on keyboard and mouse. And the fact that I put so many hours into Cycle kind of shows that I did all right. I did pretty good. But my preference for FPSs is definitely console. And I mean, I could definitely play this game on PC with a controller, but the current controller stuff is a mess in its current state. So
let's just dive right into this, and we're going to start this off with the first question, which is, what are the target frame rates for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series
60.
S and X? And will there be something
Gotta
like
be
a
60.
performance mode versus a quality mode?
Anything
and in this,
less
their
is
answer is basically
F.
their target frame rate on console is 60 FPS,
Good.
which is what we were experiencing during the tech test. They also said the game will run at 1440p on PlayStation 5 and Series X, and 1080p on Series S.
yeah, it
And
doesn't
while
need to
at
be
launch, that's all
120.
we
It would be
really expect
nice,
to see
but
for
it's very
consoles.
unlikely
They did
it's going to go
mention
to
their team is
120.
exploring the possibility of a performance
need
mode
it.
with a higher frame rate down the road. So don't expect anything better than 60 FPS for launch. And like I
Yeah.
said in my video providing feedback, 60 FPS is fine. It's perfectly playable. But at the same time, it doesn't feel great when you're coming from other games that have 120 FPS support on console, and then you're dialing it back to 60 FPS. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing if
That's
they
fine,
manage to
though.
get a performance mode in down the road. But until then, 60 FPS is at least playable, especially if we keep crossplay off, which we will be talking about crossplay in a little bit. They did confirm how they're handling that. But on top of that, they said they are happy to confirm that an FOV slider will be added for the launch
That's
version
good.
of the game. And that was another big
For the
piece of
longest
feedback
time, I
had.
never
I
cared
find
about
that
the
is actually
FOV
more
slider,
important than
but I
getting above
realized
60
how much
FPS
I'm
is
missing
having
without
that
it.
control over your field of view. And in the tech test, we didn't have an FOV slider. We will have that at
So I'm
launch.
glad they're having
good
that.
news there. Next, for the second question, what optimizations are planned for aim assist, which currently feels weak? And their answer here is, we highly value the experience of aim assist and have received frequent feedback during this test. We're happy to share we will optimize aim assist in both modes to bring you a smoother shooting experience for the official
Be
launch.
fine with
This is one area where I
10
didn't really have any
FPS
complaints, but that's
if you-
primarily because
Dude,
there were some
those are
deeper
the-
issues with the controller feel. So it's hard to get a feel for the aim assist
Or
when
some
the
fun
general feel of the
times.
controller, when
The
you're just trying to like, move your
slideshow
character around and aim without an aim
sieges.
assist present even, is way off. But it seems like from the sounds of this, at least, they are going to
I
be buffing
miss
aim assist
Crowpaw,
at least to
man.
some
If
degree.
I could just have
I do hope they don't
Crowpaw
take this
back
overboard.
in the
This game has a
cycle,
very established mouse and keyboard audience already. They were here
I would
first.
be
I don't
very
want to see controller
content
players
with
just
gaming
flooding their servers
for the rest of
with
my
extremely
time.
strong aim assist and just suddenly making them hate the game. But it would be nice if they can find at least a
Gaming.
somewhat
I don't
reasonable
know.
middle ground.
Probably would.
I know it's incredibly difficult to find that perfect balance, and I don't even know if you ever can find a perfect balance between controller and mouse and keyboard, since they're inherently different inputs. But with a game like this, where they already established their mouse and keyboard audience first, I think it's reasonable to lean a little bit more in their direction rather than the direction of controller players. In either case, for the next question, this was my #1 piece of feedback, my #1 complaint with the tech test. The question is, the movement of operators with a controller feels stiff. What optimizations will be made in
Yeah,
this
this is why I
regard?
don't play
And
on
we expect
controller
the
on
addition of
PC.
analog input. Because, as I pointed out in that video, the movement was binary. Basically,
Yep.
if you wanted to move left or right,
I
you were
hated
either
that.
moving at full speed
Hate
or not
that so
moving
much.
at all, just like you would be with a
So
mouse and
bad.
keyboard. And that feels terrible with a controller, where usually you have linear input, where if you move the stick a little bit, your character will move very slowly, whereas if you move it a lot, they will move faster. And that's a necessary part of controller play in an FPS game, and having that ability to make those fine left stick adjustments to your aim. And their answer here is, in the official launch versions, players can linearly control their movement speed with the left stick in Warfare, and you can walk in silent mode by moving left and right, which will optimize the movement experience to some extent. We will continue to optimize movement speed on controller in the future, so stay tuned. We also plan to fully support it in a future update. Partial support will be available by the time the game launches on console. So that's good news. They addressed this. They're going to have at least a partial fix for launch, which I'm curious to get my hands on at least and see how it feels, and to see what, if any, future optimizations are needed for that. Also, I was a little bit confused here about them mentioning specifically Warfare, which is like the Battlefield clone mode, rather than Operations, which is their extraction mode. So it seems like the extraction mode may not have this improvement to controller support, and the movement might still be really clunky. I don't know, though. Perhaps they didn't even have this issue in the first place during the tech test. I didn't play Operations in the tech test. I'm primarily interested in Warfare. But I am just glad to see that they have acknowledged this, because if they didn't, this was going to be a complete non-starter for me. I wouldn't even bother playing controller without this adjustment. But then for the next one, they were asked what optimizations will be made to the controller key bindings when it's officially launched. It's a bit too similar to the keyboard and mouse settings. Will controller mapping be supported? And they mentioned in the tech test it already provides controller mapping functions where players can freely bind single keys and combine keys. However, it's not recommended to use extreme binding methods, and they'll continue to optimize key binding logic in future updates to ensure consistent performance under various binding conditions. After that, they were asked about managing the inventory with a controller and how it feels tough,
Yeah,
and will there
that's
be any optimizations in this regard? And they said, yes, adjustments are already underway. We fully understand the challenges of inventory management on controller. We are actively developing new convenient features, optimizing navigation and shortcut keys to improve operational
That's good.
fluency. So that one's going to primarily come into play in the operations mode or the extraction mode, and it's good to see that they're going to be improving that. Then they were asked, will the interaction of controller key bindings be optimized, such as the interaction method for opening containers? And they said the official launch version will change the long press to short press for interaction. In
Good.
future updates, we will continue to optimize key bindings for interaction, allowing players to choose the interaction method that suits them. Then after that, we have a question regarding bots. And this says, there were too many bots encountered in the test. What will the arrangement be for bots in the official launch? And their answer is, to improve the matching experience, we added bots in the technical test version last week. However, when the console version is officially launched, you don't need to worry about this. Most of your opponents and
That's
teammates
such
in
a
matches will be
blanket
real players,
answer,
bringing
like
you the
a
excitement of
please
intense
everyone
confrontations.
answer.
And that's good
Don't
news.
worry.
I'm not surprised at all to see this. It was a bit of a complaint
Of
that I had
course.
in the tech test. I wanted to see
It's
how
all
things
dependent
played
on
against
so
real
many
players,
things. You
and yet
got
I could only
freaking
ever
dead
find
servers.
bots. So I'm glad to see that's just
They're
a
gonna
tech
add
test thing.
bots.
Then they were asked, are there any plans for more beta tests before the official launch? And it was a bit of a long-winded answer to basically say no, they're not planning any more beta tests leading up to the launch of the game.
That's good. I
which
mean, it
is
doesn't
honestly
matter. I
totally
mean,
fine. We're only 3 weeks away from the launch of the game, so how
it
much could
needs
they
to just
really
happen at
accomplish
this
from another
point.
beta anyway? Then they were asked, will more localized language options be added, such as Japanese, Russian, Spanish, German, French, etc.?
Cool, that doesn't
and
matter.
Russian, Turkish, Portuguese for players around the world, and even better for players around the world. The next question was, will there be servers set up in other regions, such as Africa, Middle East,
Cool, that
etc.?
doesn't matter.
Bring a stable gaming in those regions, because those regions are often just in the middle, but then having them, obviously. Now, the next question is a pretty big one here. Will there be crossplay only between PlayStation and Xbox, so console-only crossplay? And their answer is, we want to deliver a truly seamless cross-platform experience for players
Good.
so they can effortlessly sync their
They
progression
want
between all
to,
platforms.
so is
As
that
for
going to
crossplay,
happen for
console
launch or
players
no?
can choose to play with or against PC players, or they can choose to stay in a console-exclusive
Sounds like
queue.
it.
So essentially, it sounds like, yes, there will be console-only crossplay, so you can set it where it's Xbox and PlayStation players playing together without having to worry about PC players at all. And this is excellent news, especially for the operations mode, which every time I look
I actually
into this,
really like
people are always
the
saying it's
cross
the best suited shooters,
progression.
and with it being
It's
a
so
single
nice to
life
like play it
extraction
on
mode, running into somebody with wall
Xbox
hacks and aimbots can really
when I'm at
ruin your
work.
day.
I play it
So
on
having the ability to go console only
my
is
PlayStation.
massive
When I'm at
news.
home, play it on
And I think this
PC.
mode now has a really big chance of excelling
And all
on
progresses the
console,
same. I don't have
because
to
we
make a
shouldn't
new
have to worry at
character.
least about those particular forms of cheating. And I
That's
can't think
nice.
of any other extraction shooter on console right now that's as good as the extraction mode is on Delta Force. I'm not particularly interested in them myself, but I know a lot of people are, and from what I've seen, this is going to be the best we have access to on console. Now, going off of this, there was no mention of PC players being able to do the same. Can PC players turn off crossplay
Sure
so
they
they can
can.
only play with other PC players, and therefore at least maximize their odds of playing against other mouse and keyboard players if that's what they choose? So that is still a question that's up in the air at this point. We don't know how that's going to be handled, but at the very least, we will have the ability to have console-only crossplay, and that's great news for console players at least.
Doesn't
Now,
really
circling
make
back a little
sense
bit,
why they
speaking
wouldn't.
about the cheating situation, the next question is, for FPS players, anti-cheat measures are crucial, especially in the console version. There is extra concern about the converter behavior using a device such as a mouse for an unfair advantage. What measures will Delta Force take to deal with this? So this is talking about things like Zims, probably Cronus lumped in there as well. And they mentioned, at present, our security team has taken targeted measures against cheating in a controller and console scenarios. We will also continue to invest in game security and anti-cheating to create a fair and safe gaming environment for players from all platforms. And I mean, that's a pretty PR-like response. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think time will tell on this to see how effective their anti-cheat is, but it is good to see they're at least acknowledging it. They are aware that this is an issue with other FPS games, and they're going to be taking measures at least to combat that. And then finally, the last question is there a difference in server tick rate between PC and consoles? And what measures has the development team taken to allow all players to compete in a fair environment? And no surprise here, the tick rate is consistent between PC and console, and they have made multiple rounds of adjustments and tests on the aiming experience of controller to strive for a balanced combat experience. Console players can also choose whether to match with players from other platforms, giving the choice to the players as we hoped. And there we go. That's going to wrap it up for this Q&A. At least on paper, everything is sounding excellent here. They answered literally
That's
every
good.
single one of the concerns that I had leading up to this game after playing the tech tests. Obviously, that doesn't guarantee that everything's going to be super smooth and feel great at launch. Time will have to tell on that. We'll have to get our hands on it. But the fact that they're at least acknowledging and communicating when it comes to this is a good sign leading into the console release of the game. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts, and this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. First off, what do you guys think about this blog that we got and all of the answers that we got here? And second, are you looking forward to and planning on playing the console release of this game? Just let me know down below if you enjoyed the video.
Is this the same thing? Wait.
What's up, guys? My name is Ace. and
Oh,
today we
he's
got
breaking
our
down the-
official
I don't
reveal
wanna
trailer
watch
for
this.
Battlefield.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we got some decent stuff coming for the fall. Right, but again, I'm kind of in a slump right now. I don't really know what else to play. I still haven't played the search and destroy mode of this. Man, it's almost been what? I didn't realize it's been that long. I guess PC on Xbox I played it, but yeah. I don't know. I still have these installed. Last played July 10th. It's been a few weeks. So I haven't played Dune. I stopped playing it. I kind of just lost it. I beat the campaign, main story and everything, and I just don't have any desire for like the desert, whatever, deep desert. And there's just not enough content past that, around that, to keep me. I'm basically to the point of the big large grind to do it solo is sucks, and everyone else has basically quit, and I tried doing it solo, and it's a ridiculous grind to do. You can do it, but it requires a lot of time and effort in order to get to the very end game solo. So either I could have joined another guild and somebody that, people that are active, that are actively playing and doing it together, or stop playing, because I'm not going to spend that much time to do something on this game, unfortunately. So what's up, Daggy? How you doing, man? Have you played Hunt Showdown? I did, and there's speeders that I just can't. I can't do it, so I uninstalled it. So yeah, I did try Hunt Showdown. It was on Game Pass actually for a little bit. I don't know if it still is or not, but that's the only, because again I just can't. So, yo, welcome back, Angel. Welcome back. Yeah, the spooters. So, so for tomorrow, if any of you guys are playing, let's see. I'm gonna be busy. What time did it say that goes live? Let's see. Hold on a second here. It said like 10 hours, right? No, 7, 8. Oh, okay. So 12 hours from right now. So, it's not till tomorrow night at like midnight Eastern, right? You could always just not do that, boss. Just say, based off of this, when I was streaming, talking about it, everyone's like, no. Your math is midnight Eastern. Is it not midnight Eastern? Look. Might give Grounded 2 a try. The only reason I'm giving it a try, I mean, I like Grounded 1. I shouldn't say the only reason. But the main reason I'm actually giving it a try is because it's included with Game Pass. They're doing a game preview with it, so I'm going to give it a shot. So it says game preview at the very top there, like really small. So, okay. 18 hours from right now. Basically, 12 hours from right now. Oh, wait. I'm an idiot. It's not. I was thinking 24. Yeah, noon Eastern, not midnight. I'm dumb. The old man learned, damn it. You're right. So noon Eastern, 10 a.m. my time. I won't be around 10 a.m. for sure. There's a good chance I also won't be around until the afternoon. So like my normal timing, you guys know, I got my morning time is like reserved for my routines, and then I have some other plans tomorrow for lunch, and I won't be back until the normal timing. So you guys won't see me on until the afternoon. But if you do, I would absolutely. I mean, this game is definitely more fun if you play with people that you know, or, have friends, whatever. I'll still be playing it regardless if anyone else joins me or not, because it's free for me until the game preview ends, which I still don't know what that means. But yeah. I'm down to play if other people do. I'll be getting it regardless. Nice. I think it's definitely a game that's going to be worth it. The way that Grounded 1 was, the first Grounded game, amazing, incredible. Did really good during, its lifetime and extended. I feel like it actually holds up pretty well. So I think this one will be really good. I think it's worth it. But for me, I'm just going to do the game preview until I realize whether or not I actually want to go further with it. So I just like, one of the things I actually really like is that they have a really good arachnophobia mode. Because if I remember right, it was just blobs, right? Just like a circle, and that's it. I'm assuming Grounded 2 will have the same. I don't know if it does, but I am like quite sure that they wouldn't do that. Why would they get rid of arachnophobia mode for Grounded 2? There's no way. So I'm pretty sure I'll be safe to play it. So yeah, it turns out, like little jelly beans. Yeah, little jelly bean blobs. No idea if it's crossplay, but I'll be gladly slow you down. Hell yeah. I'm guessing it's gonna be crossplay. I wonder if we can look it up and see here. Is Grounded 2 going to be? It already popped up as crossplay. Be crossplay. Yes, Grounded 2 will support cross-play platform between Xbox and PC at launch. It will be available on the Series X and S through Steam and Xbox PC. Players will be able to link their Microsoft accounts for cross-play according to blah, 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 blah. Cross-play with other platforms like PlayStation or Nintendo Switch is not ruled out for the future, but it will not be available at launch, according to blah, 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 blah. So yeah. Yes, it will have crossplay for Steam, Xbox, PC. This thing right here will have crossplay, and then Xbox Series S and X will also be able to, because it's all through the Microsoft account. So sweet, that's cool. So yeah, tomorrow. I'll be in Discord though. If you guys, I don't have an exact time. I'm still waiting to hear back on. I mean, maybe I should be answering my phone, but yeah, I'll figure that out later. But don't plan on me there for launch. I will most likely 99% say no for launch timing. I gotta stay disciplined, so I could just sit home and not go, but I need to. Wow, you love Discord. Jaster, I thought you loved me. That's messed up. That's messed up, man. I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. I wish you could pre-install. Oh, you can't pre-install from Steam. How about it says 30 gigabytes here. I wonder how much it'll actually be day one when it launches. But yeah, said I may. I don't know if he did. Mine's the spinny red one. It says the last please. It'd be really cool. You know how like on Discord they have these things like titles like Jaws, Pace, Recycle, Boat, Doom. I had Dune on there for a while. It'd be kind of cool. I think you have to have 3 whatever it's called boosts in the server, but ours would be, I could make ours say Lost. The Lost. Rufio the Lost. That'd be kind of cool. It just says release date, no time. Yeah, Boat. What is that from? Boat? Boats and hoes. You're not a hoe, you're a boat. Just kidding. What is it from, though? I'm an idiot. Sirocco. Does Jaster have a title? There's some funny ones. I mean, I know Diablo had, like, they actually were able to spell out with some special characters to get Diablo in there. How do I see mine? Edit profile. I hope this is okay to show. Yeah, there's nothing on here to not show. Change nameplate. Is that what it is? No. Change avatar. Oh, server tag. Yeah, I can show this. There's nothing on here. Where was it? I literally was just looking at it. Change profile. Remove banner. Where was it? It said server. Change banner. Change effect. No, not change. Oh my god, am I dumb? What? It goes away when I go onto this monitor. What the heck? Oh, it's because it's below this. I can't. I gotta minimize. Okay, I'm an idiot. I can't. Apparently, you can't scroll down anymore. The window. There we go. Okay. I don't want it to go. Oh shoot! I don't want it to go too far. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we can scroll down all the way. I'm down like it disappears. Windows for WH. Oh jeez. Okay, this resolution is different. I have this one set different than my outside resolutions. That's why I was like scrolling all the way down, but I wasn't showing it. So, but these are the ones I have on here. Elden. That's kind of silly. Core for Core Punk. Dis. Woody. Recycle. I almost switched it to this one. Guys. I could put Rufio. Guys. Murder for Marauders. Marauder. Synapse. See, like Diablo has 5 letters because you can only have 4 in there, but they were able to use like a special character here to make it look like it spells out Diablo. That's actually kind of cool. Marathon. Bleh. We need to leave that server. Bleh. Razor. AOC. Dune. I got rid of that. Fractured Online. I need to leave that. Dude, I can't. I'm still in that. I forgot about that. Purple Army. CX in the chat, boys. Oh, man. What's wrong with the marathon? Wait, Rex, have you been living under a rock? They are reworking the whole game. Marathon might end up being okay, but it's not shipping this year. Yeah, it's got some really bad things going on with it, but yeah. I saw Palia. I forgot about Palia. I haven't, man, remember when I streamed that? Vampire V Rising, Halo, and that's it. That's all the ones I have access to. None of them are really anything that really interests me. Maybe the Recycle, but yeah. I thought AOC was gonna be my jam, but I played early access of it, and I haven't had any desire to play it again. So hopefully that's better. This game was supposed to launch like how many years ago? Yeah, I am not in Exoborn or Arc Raiders now. Oh, what's that? What's that? Arc Raiders. Yeah, Arc Raiders is that game isn't that coming out in like October-ish? Were you playing with? No, I was just playing solo when I played AOC. It didn't. I thought that. Wait, why does W not have a server tag? Winter Blades. What would they name theirs? Wind. It can't even like do a 4-letter Blade. No, that's not. I can't. Damn it, Jaster, don't make fun of my spelling. They could like WB. They could just do WB with the Winter Blade thing. October 30th, basically the cycle, but I know. Yeah, I did play like the early access of Arc Raiders, and that was decent, but it's third person, and that's what turns me off about it. But the gameplay itself was so good that I'm actually interested in it, even though it's third person. I still haven't decided. I don't know. I would love to play it, but third person. I just wish they would do a first person version of it. Solo AOC is dog water. Got to play with friends. Well, you're right. But yeah, I thought that W went and played Ashes of Creation with Dis, right? I thought they joined Dis or somebody hacks. Or wasn't it hacks that they joined? I don't remember. I want to play freaking AOC with W and HOA. That's what I want. I mean, it's not like I dislike Dis or hacks. I just don't know them like I do W and HOA. Those are I mean, I feel like those are like some of the best times was the competitive guilds of when W was on top and HOA coming from there. Yeah, but HOA wasn't playing as HOA. They were mixed with other guilds. I mean, I guess you kind of have to if you need numbers and all that stuff. Yeah. It's tough. Have you played Scum and Rust? I have not played either of those. No. Rust is like, isn't Rust the game developers the ones that are creating one of these newer games that just came out? Oh no, it was Dune. No, it wasn't Dune. What was it? I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just at least we have Grounded tomorrow, but right now I really just have no desire to play anything. And it kind of sucks cuz this is my game time, right? I mean, earlier. Usually I'm off by now, but 5 o'clock is the latest. 4 o'clock is preferred time to be off video games for me. I don't play video games at nighttime, but hockey season starts. I actually just got my hockey season tickets, not season tickets, but tickets for the season games. I'm going to Vegas in October. I'm going to the Utah game, playing Boston. Boston Bruins are my favorite team. This is my 30-year anniversary of being a Bruins fan. 30 years. 3-0. And so, because it's my 30-year anniversary of being a Boston Bruins fan, oh no. Whoa, man. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I've got to be nice. Dang, I'm just kidding, man. They always are really good. I actually really enjoyed watching Draisaitl and McDavid play, but that's the problem is it's just those two. And they have a couple other really good players, but they needed, yeah. I don't want to bore everyone else about that, but if Delta Force was sci-fi and had alien monsters instead of soldiers to fight, it would be fun. I kind of agree with that also. Actually, I don't like their AI bots, whatever. The soldiers. I definitely agree with that, Daggy. Yes. So funny you like a team in my neck of the woods. So yeah, I didn't finish what I was saying. So for my 30 years of being a Bruins fan, I decided to actually buy tickets in Boston to go to a Boston Bruins game versus the Utah Mammoth. So I'm going to wear all my Utah gear, even though I'm a Bruins fan at heart. Number one, that is always going to be my favorite team. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to wear my Utah Mammoth gear in Boston watching the Boston Bruins. So I'm gonna get a lot of hate. Because I love going to like Vegas and I wear my Boston Bruins stuff and everyone's like cheering for Vegas, but then we have the Bruins fans are so freaking dedicated that they're louder than the Vegas fans when they cheer. So I am going to definitely enjoy that. I've got a tour set up. I'm gonna go through Heritage Hall, see all the history because I started being a fan back in 1995. My biggest, I played the NHL 95 or 96, whatever it was, title. I don't remember what it's called. And so I like a lot of the history also. And so I'm going to like their museum for the Boston Bruins of 100 years. They've been a team since 1924. And last year was their 100-year mark. And so they've got like this huge museum set up for over 100 years of like really cool stuff that's in there. So I got tickets for that too. I've got some sightseeing places I'm going to go. But that's all during Christmas time. So Angel, I'll be in your neck of the woods in Christmas time. Pretty stoked. I'm not stoked about the wintertime travel in there, but yeah. I am not a New England fan though. I am not a Patriots fan. I've been a 49ers fan. My teams are so spread. For football, I'm a 49ers fan. For baseball, I'm a Braves fan. For soccer, MLS, I'm a Chicago Fire fan with RSL mixed in there. Premier League, I'm an Arsenal fan. English, whatever. For World Cup, I am a Portugal fan. Yo, terrific! And Argentina is my second favorite team. Yo, terrific! Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. 15 months, dude. Hell yeah. Yo, terrific. This is for you. Thank you so much for your
Rufio
support.
love.
Love it. This is for you, man. Thank you.
You can fly, you can fight, and you can...
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. We've just been chilling, man. It's actually been kind of fun. Just talking video games, talking life. It's been good. Oilers are going to finally beat Florida this year. That's actually probably, that could be true. They did get rid of a couple people, but I think that will actually be true. Florida's just so good, though. They're still really going to be good. They did lose a couple defenders, and yeah, I think it'll be fine. Last year when I was first year, I watched 100% of the Oilers games played. I watched every single game. Not going to do that again this year. Really? See, I'm 100% on Boston. I watch every single game that I can as long as I can at work. I try to. Sometimes, obviously, I get called out and I can't watch it, but I still like have notifications, alerts, clips, everything going on. I just don't. The biggest thing for me is to try and stay away from social media when it comes to watching every game, because I hate listening to the fans on social media like, oh, Boston's the worst team ever. Their GM sucks. This blah blah blah. And then they do really good, and oh, Boston's the best team ever, blah blah blah. And then it's just so back and forth, and everyone's opinion is right, and it just drives me crazy. So I try and stay off social media for most of like when I watch every sport. I just watch it to enjoy it, and I don't know. I don't watch it and get too like. The nice thing is, because of my fitness stuff, I actually every time that the Bruins get scored on, I do 20 push-ups. There's been games where they get scored on 9 goals in a game. And then if they lose, I do 30 push-ups. If they get a shorthanded goal against them, I do 30 push-ups. So I think the most I've ever done is 240 push-ups in a single game. So when I'm watching these games, it actually helps me when they do bad. Helps me physically. But when they do good, I spoil myself with a little treat, like a 1 peanut M&M or something. So if they score like 10, I get like a little handful, whatever, or I don't know, some dumb stuff. But it just makes it fun. A little spoil for some goals and wins. But yeah, you gotta you know, yes, Jaster. I'm not gonna do like a whole handful every time they score. Otherwise, I eat the whole bag in one game. Yes, that is exactly okay. It's actually I actually pull out 5. I get 5 total for every goal. That's exactly what I do. I don't know why I said 1. It's 5 peanut M&Ms or peanut butter M&Ms. 5 is every time they get a goal, I pull out 5, and I try and I make sure that there's no duplicate colors. So if I pull out 2 greens, then I eat one of the greens. But, yeah, I teach me your ways, and I mean, it's every little thing I do. I try and like make something to better. I don't know. It's funny. Remember when we used to do like oh, sorry. Trying to read a message here. Oh, that's plans for tomorrow. So I should be back by 3 or 4 p.m. my time, which is basically normal time for you guys to play Grounded 2 tomorrow. I just got the notification, so. Yeah, I mean, it's all moderation. It's all balance. But you're right, you know, calories and stuff. I am not, I don't know if you guys watched any of my weight loss videos when I had them public. I am not a calorie counter. I'm not a protein, carb, fat counter. I don't do numbers because I feel like as soon as I do focus on numbers, I'm going to lose the enjoyment of my fitness journey where all I'm thinking about is numbers. I've never been like that, never will be. I mean, I shouldn't say never will be. You never know. But I will do my best to not be a numbers person. But I'm very mindful of what I intake. And I definitely try to get enough. Like, I know I need to get a decent amount of protein, you know, the 1-to-1 ratio of 1 pound, 1 gram per pound. So I get in about 140 grams of protein every day, but I don't count it. It's just like you know, I need to have this, and I should be good. You know, I don't count it down to the mouth. I don't weigh my food like some people do. I could do that and be way more efficient, way more muscle growth, way more, you know, tone and physique and all that stuff to look good. I could do that if I really wanted to, but I feel like I would get burnt out. I wouldn't enjoy it, and I'd go back to my old ways. So as long as I'm moderating myself, I have balance in my life, and, you know, I'm smart about what I do. Like today, we went golfing with my nephews, and they all wanted to go out and eat Arctic Circle. And so I'm like, all right, let's go. I didn't eat a single thing there, and I was super disciplined. And I'm like, they're like, oh, eat some fries, you know, eat this burger, eat this ice cream that we got. And I'm like, nope. It's hard to say no, but yeah. Yesterday we had a family get together. They had burgers, they had homemade ice cream, they had chips, and like it's just all that stuff is just thrown into my face, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. So I ate a patty, and I ate fruit, vegetables, and a very small amount of potato salad. And it's just like, I don't know, it's tough because everything they just throw at you is just not good for you. And so it's really hard to find. It takes a ton of discipline. But if you can do it, it pays off. So like I am literally in the best shape of my entire life ever. My even like in my 20s, whatever, I was very skinny, but I had no muscle. And then my late 20s, I had no skinniness. I was pure fat, and I had no muscle. And then in my 30s, I kind of like evened it out where I was maintaining about 160, 170 pounds at like a 30% body fat. And now at the end of my 30s, I'm down to 140 pounds, 15% body fat, and I'm just sticking with it. I work out every day. I eat very, very clean as much as I can at home, especially at work. I have one cheat meal at work. If the crews want to cook any meal, I will eat it so I can, you know, have family time with my crew at work. So, but you also got to remember I'm short. You know, I'm 5'6", so 140. That's my ideal body weight is like 142 or 144 pounds for a 5'6" person. So, I'm actually at my ideal body weight right now. So, do you have a PO box where you can send stuff? No, I do not. I have given out my address to certain people though, because they have sent some. Actually, I've gotten some really cool Rufio merch from viewers in the past. Some really cool stuff, and I saved all that, and I still have it. In fact, one of it's sitting right behind me, but I don't have my camera on. Jesus, Justin. That's pretty funny. He came out of the womb at 145 pounds. Gee. That was pretty funny. Sorry. Hey, donuts all winter. Doing high intensity. The high hits. That's tough, man. That's really good that you can do that. I tried doing like hit stuff, hit workouts, and CrossFit and all that, and I can do it, but I don't maintain it. I rather just stick to my specific routines that work. But if anybody ever invites me to go do like CrossFit with them, I'll go do it. I will never say no to them. If anyone invites me to do high workouts at work, whatever, I'll 100% do it, and I can usually get through them, all of them, and I'm pretty much at the top in most of them compared to, I don't know, it's because I'm so competitive, so I don't stop until I am at the top. But yeah, I just can't. Hits stuff, CrossFit stuff is not a daily routine for me, so I think I would get burnt out if I did that all the time. But every once in a while, I like doing it. It's fun. It's intense. It's crazy. So, Crushman 145 5'9", had a 6-pack. Nice. Give her all some others. Alternate strength and hits. Enjoy more athletic stuff. Posted. Yeah, I've never been a deadlifter or straight lifting either. I mean, I do a lot of lifting for muscle growth intentionally right now. I don't do like deadlifting stuff like that because I don't know. It's not my thing, not my jam. I'm not a part of the deadlifting club. There's a buddy at work. In fact, he's the one that just called me. He's got on his water bottle part of the deadlifting club, or I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's like he's very proud of his quads. Very proud of them. It's a good way to injure yourself. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to. Form is key for sure. Yo, Jaster, thanks for chilling, man. I appreciate that. It was fun. Today's been a good day. I actually was only planning on streaming like a half hour to 45 minutes, and we are currently an hour and a half, so twice as long. Way more than what I was planning on. But it's been fun though. It's been fun just chilling, talking about video games. I still don't know if I'm going to stream Grounded 2. Tomorrow I definitely won't be, but I will be playing it off stream. So if you guys do want to join, I will be in Discord. I'll just write in Discord when I'm hopping on, or you guys, either way, whatever. If you're just tuning in there, I'll join up. But it would be more fun to play Grounded 2 tomorrow with people than to play solo. But if nobody's around or nobody wants to play, then I will just play on my own and see how it is. Either way. I should probably get off too and go make dinner. I usually eat between 5:30 and 6 p.m. my time, which is 5:36 right now, my time, 5:37. So, I also need to go, yeah. All right, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for just chilling. Thanks for your opinions and just throwing out stuff to talk about today. I actually really enjoyed this stream. More than I expected. So, and it's just good. This is exactly why I wanted to do this, because I miss you guys. And I don't want to stream a video game if I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I could be playing Dune right now, but I'm not enjoying it, so why stream it? I just don't have that in me to stream something I don't enjoy. I am interested in the current state of gaming, and that's why I chose to do that today. And then it just kind of turned into a chill chat stream, and I enjoyed that a lot, so... Nice, terrific. Yeah, you should join us, man. That's why I'm playing it too. I have it on Game Pass for the game preview, so yeah. All right, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll be around tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys later. Bye-bye.